I think the biggest surprise to me with with doing drawing is
Yeah.
how much like unconscious geometry there is to it.
Oh, there's
Like there,
plenty of it. Oh, there's
yeah,
plenty.
yeah. It's amazing how much math's involved in it. It's like I like anyone that thinks this stuff's easy.
Oh, it's not.
I
It's
it's no
not.
good.
I hate.
No
I
good.
hate people. I really hate people who do that, who think that it's easy, and just blithely ask to like. It's as a matter of fact, I was having this conversation last with the other person I was having a podcast with, and we were talking about how some people, they get into it simply for the sake of it. Just because they feel like doing it, they think that they can because a bunch of their friends on social media told them that they were really good, and when in fact they really suck.
Yeah.
And I had and the one thing you cannot do with me because I worked at Marvel. You see, first off, I don't consider myself famous at all, well, like at all. That's one thing. It's like I don't do this for the fame. No one should ever do anything like this for the fame. Because if you do, then it's like you're not really true to the form of it, or it's just not the way it should be. And there's a friend. I had a friend who I had a lady friend of mine who had a boyfriend who uh who wanted to do the whole comic book thing, but was only able to do like fanboy poster art and terrible at that because he was drawing like he was drawing Deadpool who if he was 10 feet tall, like literally 10 feet tall. And it was horrendous, and it's like so anyway, she wanted to bang this guy. Like she really wanted to bang him. And
Okay.
she told him evidently about my time at Marvel Comics, and he's like, "Oh wow, do you think he can get me into Marvel Comics, but without the trouble of actually doing all the stuff that he did?" Like it's like, oh, you want me after I've done all these years of portfolios and studying and busting my ass and sleepless nights to tell you all of my secrets, so you think you can just coast in because you think you're that good. That's one thing. Oh yeah, it was the funniest thing, and it's like, oh yeah, it was the worst. It really was the worst because it's like I look at that and I'm just like, the only reason why you're even giving me oxygen to talk is because you want something from me like that. I mean, it was just sad. It's just like the person wants to do what I'm doing, but doesn't want to have to go through the whole thing, like deadlines, or rejection or anything along or anything
Oh
else.
no.
And it's like we don't want that trouble. We just want to see if we can get it in there. And it's like, no, you can't. That's the hard. It's the hardest. It's one of the hardest things in the world to do.
Yeah.
Get in with everything that you have, and it's just like you have to like really, really, truly, study to get to where the hell you are, man. It's not easy at all.
Study and practice. Lots and lots of
Yeah,
practice.
I can't tell you how many hundreds of thousands of hours I've practiced, dude. Honestly, it's like, and I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm a lot closer than I thought I'd ever be. But
Yeah.
damn, man, it's like the arrogance of some people and the severe lack of patience that it's like it's expected that some of these things are handed to them. And like, no, 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 it's not even remotely like that. I don't know what the hell you're thinking. So it's like I'm looking at this person and I'm like, okay, so I'll just tell you all the secrets that I've tried to garner and learn the hard way over the past, I don't know, 20 years. So you can get in there at age 35 that you never did anything art wise for your entire life, but now you feel like you want to do it because someone on social media and your family told you could draw Deadpool really well. Oh, it was sad, and it's like I'm questioning her about it, and I'm like, I told you never to do this. I told you never to name drop me or say that, oh, I know a friend who does this. No, 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 no. Don't ever do that. And it's just, if you do it for your own personal gain, I can't talk to you anymore. I can't, because then that means that that's the only reason why you're my friend. I walked away from a friend of 20 years because of that.
Oh yeah. I mean, because
I walked away from a friend. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I just want I'll let you finish here. But I mean, well, here's the thing. You could even if you told him everything, who cares? Not like you get it.
No, of course he wouldn't get it. It's not the point. The point is just that it's like this is the only reason why you're giving a damn whether I'm exist or not.
Yeah.
And I hate that more than anything in the world. I really do.
It's the
I
lack of
hate that
respect.
like you wouldn't believe. And I mean, I had another friend do the same thing. It's like he owns a sign shop, and this guy who was organizing a convention down in North Carolina, he's like, I want a couple of signs for a comic book convention. He's like, oh, I have a friend Rich who knows a lot of people over at Marvel. And he's like, oh, great. So it's like, first off, I don't, because it's been years since I worked at Marvel at that point. And two, it's just like he turned a $200 dinky sale that he could have finished in a day into like a $3,000 jam, where it's like he had banners, where he had all sorts of other signs and all that crap. So anyway, and it was the funniest thing too, because the guy like who organized the convention, he's just like, yeah, man, I'm going to give you this free table. And it was like he was trying to do his best Michael Corleone impersonation, where he's like, yeah, it's like, if you can do this for us, and maybe you can get a bunch of your industry friends to maybe come by next year. And I'm like, yeah, sure, Mikey, I'll do anything for my godfather. I was like, go away, dude, really. I'm sorry?
My son, the time has come for you to do me a favor.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I'll give you exposure. Exposure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He even threw that word in. He's like, come on, man. It's good exposure. You'll be at a convention. I go, it's not my first convention I've ever been to. It's like,
oh, yeah,
I'm like, why? I'm like, why do you even bother? It's like, and I hate that laissez-faire attitude, where it's like, yeah, I've killed myself for this thing. I've agonized over this. I've lost relationships because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost girlfriends because of this, because it's not because I wasn't making any money, but because of the fact that it's like, this would take up a lot of my time. It's like, this is who I am. I'm a storyteller, and people need to respect that for everybody who's a storyteller. And I don't like the fact that there are some people who think that this is something that it's a joke, that they can do it at any bloody time, and that the only thing we're around for is for some sort of amusement. I mean, I guess it feeds their ego, because they can't create and they can't do cool shit like this. So it's like, hey, if that's how you got to live, that's how you got to live. But I don't know, man. I mean, I find that disturbing.
I do too. Yeah. Well no. So I've been freelancing for about a year now, almost. Now,
excellent.
The hardest lesson I had to learn, there's two. The first was always advice I give anyone that's getting into freelancing of any kind, whether it's illustration, comics. Find your niche, find what you're good at, and promote that.
Yeah.
But I didn't take my own advice for like the first 6 months of this. It was like, wait, I do a podcast. I'm really good at this podcasting stuff.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, man.
Yeah. So, but it took me about 6 months for that to sink in, because you take for granted sometimes what you do, right?
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing. The second thing I had to learn to do is, see, I had to learn this lesson, and every freelancer has to learn this lesson at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Why do things cost X amount of money? To be perfectly honest, I mean, yeah, it's about bills. That's true. It's about bills. It's about work, how much you want to work. But there's another very simplistic reason why things cost the way they do. Respect.
Oh, yeah.
You don't when it's free, when you can get it anytime you want it, you don't respect it.
That's true.
It's human nature.
It's very true.
When you charge, when it costs you money, it forces you to respect it.
Yeah.
And once you understand that, you understand why things cost what they cost. It's not always about the money, actually.
No, it's not.
It's about the respect.
That's right. Very much so.
More often than not, creatives have to learn this. If they want to be respected, they have to set a price and stick to it.